Welcome to Insta Legal. The question for today's discussion is very important because every time the marriages are taking place, and during the corona times, the marriages have taken place in a rush and in a hush manner. And the parties are not able to reconcile with each other, and they are either looking to get a divorce when the parties have realized that there was some kind of a fraud which was committed. So, in such a scenario, is it how to declare this marriage as an invalid marriage, or whether such a marriage should end into a divorce is the main question that we need to understand. So let us discuss as to how to declare a marriage as invalid marriage. What do we understand by nullity of marriage? By nullity of marriage, we understand that it is a kind of marriage which is not valid and is void ab initio in nature. That is, it is void from the very inception itself. The marriage between the parties is not valid, and since this nullity declares that the marriage between the parties has never taken place. So the nullity of marriage basically stems upon the fact that this marriage is not a marriage under the law. So nullification of marriage, though is present in India now, it is different from divorce in as much as the divorce will presume that the marriage between the parties is a valid marriage performed according to the rites and ceremonies and with free consent, etc. However, in nullification, the status of marriage itself is declared as invalid in law. So the meaning of nullification in a common parlance would be that the parties were never declared as husband and wife because the marriage is total nullity. So let us see under the personal laws what does the law contains with regard to nullity of marriage. Under the personal laws, let us first discuss Hindu law. Under section 12 of the Hindu Marriage Act, there are certain grounds which are provided which says that such a marriage if these grounds are fulfilled, then such a marriage will be declared as null and void. What are the specific grounds? First ground is neither party has a spouse living at the time of marriage. Second, the parties are not within the degrees of prohibited relationship unless the custom or usage governing each of them permits of a marriage between the two. Third ground, which is a specific ground, the parties are not sapindas of each other unless the custom or usage governing each of them permits of a marriage between the two. As we all know, in South India, such a marriage between two persons who are sapindas to each other is followed as a custom or as a usage. So if you want to get your marriage declared as a nullity, you will have to prove either of these three grounds, marriage completely nullified if either of these ground is proved. There are other grounds where the other party has an option to get the marriage declared as nullity, that is non-consummation of marriage due to impotency. At the time of the marriage, when the marriage took place, either of the party was impotent and there could not be any procreation in the family. So in that case, the other party who is affected by such impotency can claim that the marriage is a nullity, and if he is able to prove the impotency of the other parties affecting the mind of this person, then the marriage will be declared as nullity. The other grounds include that the consent was not free, a fraud was committed upon the party, or there are recurrent attacks of insanity. All of these grounds have to be proved to declare that this fact was not aware to the person getting into that marriage alliance. And had this person been made aware that such a thing has happened, like if there is a specific condition that the party was divorced before the marriage had taken place, but the factum of divorce was not disclosed, that could amount to be a fraud upon the party. On that ground, if it is able to prove that the declaration of the first marriage being divorce was not informed to the other party before the marriage took place, the other party who's affected by it can claim nullity of marriage. The third ground could be the girl at the time of the marriage was pregnant by some other person and this was not disclosed, and willingly it was not accepted by the other party who has now filed for nullification of marriage. So under the Hindu laws, as we understand, there are certain grounds which are specific in nature, and if any of that is proved, you will get a decree of nullity. But there are other grounds where the nullity may be granted and it is voidable options. So under these three grounds, non-consummation of marriage, consent not free, fraud, etc., and pregnant at the time of marriage, the marriage would be voidable at the option of one party. Under the Muslim law, no specific law for nullification is there, but a person can file a declaratory suit on the ground to declare the marriage as void marriage where there is a forced consent and the consent is under undue pressure. If the either party was not aware of certain information, deceit was there regarding insignificant quality. Since if the marriage contract is due to fraud, the contract becomes voidable at the option of the deceived person. So under the Muslim personal law, there is nothing specific to nullity of marriage, but the marriage can be declared because under the Muslim law, the marriage is not a sacrament, it is a contract. And if there is a fraud committed by either party at the time of getting into this contract, then that contract becomes voidable at the option of the deceived person. Under the Christian law, earlier it did not allow annulment as it considered marriage to be indissoluble and wholly wedlock. However, later on with changing times, amendment was brought in 2011 and the following grounds were provided for nullification of the marriage. First is the impotency of the respondent. Second, if the party had a living spouse at the time of the marriage, that is bigamy. Marriage solemnized within prohibited degree of consanguinity or affinity, that itself would become the ground that this marriage could have never taken place. So therefore, this is a nullification. Either party being lunatic at the time of marriage and is not able to give the consent of being married. So under these four grounds, under the Christian law also, now the nullification of marriage is permitted. Let's come to Parsi law. Under Section 30 of the Parsi Marriage and Divorce Act 1936, only one ground has been provided under which the marriage can be declared as null and void, and that is consummation of marriage by natural causes is impossible. Only in that circumstance the nullity of marriage can take place. Now there are beyond these personal laws, there we have a Special Marriage Act which is a secular law. It also provides grounds for nullification under Section 24, wherein it states that either party is not of marriageable age as prescribed would be one of the major grounds for nullity of the marriage. If the other party is impotent, if either party has committed bigamy, that is either of the party had a living spouse at the time when the marriage was registered under the Special Marriage Act, there is an invalid consent due to unsoundness of mind or mental illness of the party, or the marriage was under the prohibited relationship. So as we see, nullity of marriage is provided under almost all the personal laws now in India. It is one of the ways to finish the marriage by declaring that the marriage had never taken place and they were never as husband and wife. Many people are not aware about nullity of marriage. There is one embargo upon the filing of nullity of marriage, that you have to file within 1 year of the marriage or as soon as the fraud has been discovered. If you are not filing the case within 1 year of the marriage or within 1 year of the fraud being discovered, then such an application is not maintainable. Thank you very much.